Hello, you two.
All
right. I should probably say GM actually because it's a bit earlier than our normal time. Welcome everyone to DappRadar's Off the Blockchain. We are the world's Dapp Store, so we're bringing you news from the world of decentralized Web3. I'm your host, Charlie. As always with me, I have Robert Hogendorn and Ian Kane. Say hi, you two.
Sup, everybody.
Bonjour.
For our YouTube listeners, smash that like button and subscribe if you already haven't. And you can also listen on Spotify, and I think if not already, then soon on Apple. So today, what are we looking at? We'll be looking at the latest movers and shakers in the Dapp market. We'll be taking a look at some data and getting an overview of the big players in the game this week. We'll be playing thumbs up, thumbs down, where we give our hot takes and opinions on the latest news from the world that we all live in called Web3. And Rob's got his gaming updates showing us what's hot today to go and play today and tomorrow. We'll also be discussing one company's move to centralization. It's not what we like to hear here. So it's a tale of monopolies, ownership, and distribution channels. So we'll be getting into that and seeing what we all think of that. But firstly, how are you two? Ian, I'll start with you. How's it going?
I'm doing good this week. Two things in the Web3 world. One funny thing this morning, my son woke me up at 5 a.m. and desperately wanted to see the fox. Now, the fox is the MetaMask fox. He loves the way really loves the way the head moves around. So you can imagine.
So do I. That's cool.
It's cool, right? But he's fascinated by this MetaMask fox. So at 5 a.m., obviously, I'm not really that keen to open my portfolio right now on MetaMask. But
no one wants to see their portfolio at the moment.
At 5 a.m., I'm checking my crypto. So that happened, and then that led me down a rabbit hole at around 6 a.m., purchasing a new ENS domain for my wife's business. So that was quite interesting as well. So I had a very busy morning of half asleep crypto activity.
I just quickly, I saw you two having a conversation last night about ENS domains. I have to agree with Rob on this one. They're not a character; they're a name.
Well, we can get into that another week. I got a whole bullet point list of comebacks for y'all.
But all right, Ian, are you going to accept crypto payments at your wife's store? Awesome.
Eventually, that's the plan. That's the idea, to install like a local currency and use the bait of, let's stop money bleeding into the international companies like Visa. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. Just want to try it, really.
You should do something with like buy something and earn like five random coins, and then like if you have 50 coins, you can get a cupcake for free.
Yeah, that's it, right? It's like the coffee loyalty scheme.
Loyalty cards. Yeah.
I mean,
Starbucks is doing it on Polygon with in the US, so now you can do it in Lithuania. Awesome.
I'm excited. Like she's not so excited. She's more confused, but I'm like, don't worry, I'll deal with it.
Ideally, what you want is a system where you almost want it as easy to be as a card payment. It's almost as easy as a tap, really, don't you?
Yeah. We need a wallet structure. Like there's some good wallets out there. The barrier really, guys, is like, okay, I'm in the shop, you've walked in. It's that initial, even if you've got crypto on Ethereum, for example, I need you to put it onto a chain with 0 gas fees so we can make a quick transaction. So that's the sticky point. So I'm thinking about these things at the minute. But yeah, it's quite exciting taking crypto.
Fun. Yeah, definitely. Rob, how are you?
Yes, I'm good. Actually, today I got a bit frustrated. So I have this gaming industry background, so like PC Gamer, Eurogamer, IGN. Like I used to read them, and PC Gamer published an article about Blankos, and I will dive into Blankos later. Point is, they like the game, they hate the NFTs.
No.
And it's literally the message. The subtitle said something like, "We liked it until we realized there were NFTs inside." And I was really like, seriously? So you're slamming for the sake of slamming. So you're liking the game, you like the way everything works, and then you discover NFTs. You're like, oh hell no.
No.
It's like, are you a 4-year-old child who's eating pizza and then realizes there's tomato sauce on it, and then like, what is this? So I got a bit annoyed there.
Was this? I saw you did a long Twitter thread.
Yes.
That was you clapping back.
Yes.
Fair enough.
that was me slamming. I also tagged the writer of the article because I want him to.
Oh, I love it.
You've been stalking people on the internet again, bro.
Well, when Web3 fights back. All right,
Yeah.
Ian, without further ado, let's move on to your Dapp market overview, where you're going to tell us all about what you can find at DappRadar and how you can find some information and alpha and insights with our tools.
Whoop, whoop. All right, cool. So first of all, we're going to jump into the top 5 dapps across all categories on DappRadar. So let's throw up that image and have a quick look at what's happening today. So this image was captured this morning. So it's kind of similar to last week. What can we see here? We've got a lot of gaming dapps in the top 10. We've got Gameter, Alien Worlds, the Sweat Economy, not really gaming, Splinterlands, Benji Bananas, Farmers World. We've got a couple of marketplaces in there, Magic Eden, which is really rising through the ranks. I really hope it's going to take OpenSea's crown by the end of the year, or I'm going to lose my bet. What else do we see in here? Sweat Economy we covered last week, slightly down this week.
That's not a surprise though, is it? It was huge last week.
It was really pumping last week, so it's not surprising to see that. And just a note on Rarible as well. We're actually looking into the contract tracking of Rarible. They seem to be working with XY2, XY2Y, and there's some debatable contract being listed there. So we're not sure that this data is actually legit right now. So hold your hats. We're just looking into that one. But again, we see the trend here of gaming marketplaces. I don't see any DeFi dapps in there apart from PancakeSwap, which is a stable always
just
there.
Just want to point out there that the Atomic marketplace is quite interesting. That's gone up so much. You know, it was already quite a big platform and it's gone up and wax things.
Yeah, and Atomic Market always has it's a wax based. I mean, it's also an EOS, but it's and some other like EOCO chains, but it's mainly wax based. Many gaming dapps on wax, they launch the NFTs through Atomic, and it's a good marketplace really. Like it has been a stable platform within the ecosystem for quite some time. I actually like looking at those numbers, like 54% up for Atomic assets. That's a lot, and you can also see it in the chart, like this sudden peak going up at the end.
Yeah.
There's clearly a product launch happened on.
I was going to say, this is the sort of thing that DappRadar, then we would go and look into that and be like, right, what does this mean? Why has it gone up? And then we'd research and find out. So this is a good place to start your research. And then from there, go and find out more, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. You could find a new collection or something that's popping on wax that you can find there. So yeah, this is like the starting point of discovery on DappRadar, I guess. Yeah. So that's the top 10 dapps. And the list doesn't change that drastically week to week, but sometimes we see some really cool stuff in there and some outliers. We've got Upland and other dapps there who are in the background, 11th and 12th. So
I'll quickly point out one more thing quickly, Ian, is that the top 10 dapps by user numbers.
Yes, they are ranked by unique.
So, other ones have got sort of like the money sort of metrics and other things like that, but these are the ones that get used the most. So these are the popular ones.
Yeah. Another thing to point out as well is all black everything. We've gone dark mode across DappRadar, which I love.
It's cool. I like it as well.
Love that. All right, cool. Let's move on to the top 10 NFT collections. Let's throw that image up quickly. All right, cool. So we've got the normal people in there. Oh, look, Ethereum Name Service is the second most traded NFT collection in the last 7 days. That's pretty cool. And then, the normal BAYC, Mutant Ape. Mutant Ape is really pumping right now. We were talking with our research department yesterday. We're not sure of the reasons for this. It's a low value entry point into the ecosystem, so that could be the reason.
Low value between quotation marks, by the way.
Yeah.
$25,000 value entry.
Relatively low value.
Yeah, relative to 150K, pretty cheap. CryptoPunk's still there, obviously. Gods Unchained, we mentioned last week. New game modes, new inclusion of new things coming out. So it's pretty cool. And it's pumping. It's down this week, but that's based off last week's data. So it's quite clear we're going to see that. Art blocks. Art blocks is ramping. People are buying crypto art, specifically a couple of major buyers. It does look like people are hedging into crypto art as a kind of safe store of value. And then we see Azuki, which has also had a lot of sales over the last 7 days.
Hold on. Isn't Azuki famously a rug pull, or the guy who did it, or something?
I haven't looked into this yet, but Azuki sales have been going wild over the last 7 days. But the guy was a rug puller, but he doesn't rug pull Azuki. That collection is still maintained. And then we see Renga, and then we see Clone X, and we don't see Heads. So what I said about Renga and Heads was wrong, and Renga is actually outperforming Heads. Dope. So don't listen to Ian as the moral.
The other side is, I see the average sale price has gone up for other side by quite a bit.
Yeah, Rob, why? Because of that sale. There was a $200,000 sale yesterday on a piece. Was it a Coda though, or land?
No, Coda is on a piece of land. So you buy a land and there's a Coda on it.
Okay.
So pump the value. The average price has gone up 20% in the last 7 days due to that, I think. Okay.
You know what's interesting about art blocks? So art blocks, you have 3 collections, right? You have combined their art blocks, but within it you have art blocks curated. And art blocks curated has series. So like the first series contains, I don't know how big the series are, but let's say 10 art drops. They now reached series 8, and that will be the last numbered series in the curated collection. So this was announced earlier this week, and it's quite it seems like very random, but it's quite a big thing if you're looking at art blocks as the first generative art collection on the blockchain, and that they're then stopping their series. So no, it's kind of
OG, right?
I mean that makes everything in that series 1 to 8 very OG, and so that probably is the cause of this increased trading volume on art blocks.
All right. Good context. Good to know these things. So this is the reason we do this as well, is to dive in. And there's 3 of us here. We all know different things about things. So yeah, let's jump into the new dApp. So every week we want to highlight the filter we have on DappRadar. So where you can filter by new dApps only. So these are dApps that have been uploaded in the last 10 days. There's some pretty cool stuff here. We see some similar ones from last week. Gambling is the number 2 dApp there. And we also see a high risk dApp at number 1. Probably the most interesting thing on this list, I think, today is the Atari X collectibles NFT collection. So I know that Rob bought a couple of these following in my footsteps of getting hyped off the back of AMAs. The artwork is really nice though, right, Rob? I think it's cool. Like you can even see the creases in the posters of where they've done original stuff. I just think it's very nice, but they are collectibles, right? They're not like, there's no utility for this. It's more. Or am I wrong?
Yeah, you're not wrong there. I mean, it is utility in the sense like it's club-like. It's you won't be using it in a game or in a virtual world.
Okay.
Right? However, like based on certain treats on your NFTs, you will be able to claim physical copies, or you were able to you will receive a copy of the game, or there will be certain events or other airdrops. So they have this whole, and Tyler from Atari explained it. They have this whole vibe going on around the Atari Club, which is in the 80s there was an actual Atari Club. You could subscribe to it, receive a magazine. In each magazine there were some points you would collect. You use scissors to cut them out. If you have enough points, you can redeem it for something. That whole ecosystem they want to revive with Atari X. Nice. So one of the things they just announced, like yesterday, is that the Atari token, which originally was the ATRI token, which originally was a joint venture between Atari and some other company, is now being relaunched as a new currency. So that will probably tie into Atari X and the Atari X NFT collection as well.
All right, nice. I think it's kind of cool, and there's other things there to look at as well. But yeah, the Atari thing. I mean, for me, my first computer was an Atari 2600, my first gaming computer. I don't know if anyone ever used one of them. Cartridges, terrible games, like awful. But
I like that the ET game. I don't know if you know about that, but that's like the embodiment of the cause of the video game crash in the early 80s.
Yeah.
And
home
gaming consoles have died, and ET did it, and it's still like that stigma still exists. Have you ever seen a documentary about the buried Atari cartridges in the Nevada desert?
Oh, I've seen the trailer for it, Rob, but I never watched it. Yeah,
it's an amazing story. Like it's like Atari games got so shit that nobody was buying them anymore, and then they were stuck with like hundreds of thousands of cartridges, and they buried them in the desert. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
Has someone dug them up and taken them home now and sold them for like sort of...
Yeah, no, they made an entire documentary around it, and like I guess some of them end up in a museum because now it's like historical. There's a story around it. So it's actually interesting.
Yeah, I'd say also go and check out Rob's chat with Atari X last week.
Yes.
That'll be up on YouTube.
That was cool. So, that's the kind of Dapp trends that we've seen this morning. So the screen grabs are taken at around lunchtime, and then our time, and then so this is kind of freshest data. But if you want to update this, go to DappRadar.com, check out the rankings, click through, see what you find. So that's
nice. Right, moving on swiftly. Thumbs up or thumbs down? Yeah. Are you both ready to give us your hottest takes and your craziest opinions, or your harshest opinions, I should say?
Harshest.
Because this first one, I know which way I'm going. It's the news of the wedding in the Sandbox. So 2 Singaporean lovebirds, it says here, the story. Their names are Joanne and Clarence. They celebrated their wedding ceremony in the Metaverse and in the physical world, but in the Metaverse as well, in the Sandbox. We went to a mansion. Oh, no. Yeah, there we go. So they did it in the Sandbox. And I wonder if, right, there's 2 questions here. Thumbs up or thumbs down, but do you think this is the end of civilization?
No, man. Like video game marriages have been happening for decades. Like, you know,
really it's over the first one
taking place in World of Warcraft, that kind of stuff.
There we go.
So this is the first like metaverse.
I guess you could say it's the first blockchain one.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So are we thumbs up or thumbs down on that?
Look, I'm all up for normalizing digital life. So, and
Ian, you've got the deciding vote.
I tell you why I'm thumbs up, because they recreated the Akaf mansion in the Sandbox, which I think is the real reason they did this. Thinking about IP, thinking about long term, that's a really important place in Singapore. It's one of the most important hotels. It's where the richest people get married. They're setting up for the future here, I think. And there's a lot of events happening in Singapore this week. So this is PR. Thumbs up from Ian.
All right. So we're a thumbs up for that one, please, Annika.
Yeah.
All right. Next one. Interpol has issued a red warning warrant for Do Kwon. So it's a worldwide arrest warrant for the guy who brought down terror, made terror, brought down terror, lost loads of people, billions of dollars. I'm up for him getting an arrest warrant for his name.
Okay.
Only because, look, if they don't find him guilty, they don't find him guilty. But what he did was it a giant rug pull? Was it just carelessness? Either way, people have lost a lot of money. There's a lot of sad people out there. Someone needs to...
I think one thing is that he is unfortunately now the poster child for crypto wrongdoing.
That's the wider implications, definitely.
The question I'm asking myself is perhaps we needed that poster child. Sorry, Do Kwon, but you really did make a mess. And maybe we needed that poster child to straighten this out a little bit. Like, I don't know. That was something that hit me, but I don't know, to be honest. It's got big implications.
I mean, yes, it also feels, it's not nice what happened, of course. But it also, to an extent, it feels a bit like the original Silk Road people that are still, I forgot their names, but that are still in jail.
In prison, yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not so... Would they still go in prison if it would happen now? I don't think so.
Is it the same sort of argument as the Tornado Cash one? He made a product, people used it. He didn't say how they had to use it. Yes.
I mean, he made a marketplace for Bitcoin transactions.
Yeah, and he made it within the rules and regulations that were outlined in front of him at the time. So
there were no real crypto rules. So I find it, So I mean, it's good that he's arrested. It's good to investigate it. The thing I don't like about this whole thing around Do Kwon is he's labeled for life now. Let's put it like that.
Yeah.
And and it's a tremendous amount of money. And I have no idea what happened with whether he hid some money or whatever. And that's for law enforcement to find out. getting no, finding him, discovering the truth, thumbs up. No, like Ian said, putting people on a poster, not so.
What I would like to know is that has anyone been arrested since 2008 for the 2008 financial crash?
Charlie nailed it.
A similar thing.
That's the biggest point.
People's money.
That's the elephant in the room, mate. We're talking about the same things, but people are not going to jail in the traditional finance world for similar crimes. So why is it so? Yeah,
it's all risky. It's all risky things, but some people, because the government like Web3 and blockchain stuff, they're like, we'll arrest you. But when it was their mates working on Wall Street, they didn't quite have the same opinion, did they?
Exactly. Well, I think that's a really strong point, and I agree with that 100%. It's not fair, really, the way it's being played out as such. But bottom line, thumbs up to catching him, speak to him, find out what he did, dig. There's all rumors and speculation right now.
Yeah.
Real information. So thumbs up, really, because
I still like he sometimes still tweets. Like
he tweeted yesterday. Did you see the tweet?
Yeah,
he dropped a tweet because he's been accused of. Yeah, there it is. This most surprising in all of this is the amount of misinformation. No cash outs, but he's not providing any wallet addresses. He's just giving words.
His word. Yeah.
So thanks, Do Kwon, but your word doesn't mean much anymore, mate.
Right. We'll give a thumbs up for that then, Annika, but we have our concerns about what this means for wider things. All right, the next one. It was a very profitable MEV bot losing 1,101 ETH. Are we, from a sort of state of Schadenfreude and someone sort of get a bot getting its comeuppance, are we thumbs up or thumbs down on that?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean,
you just see the story.
The bot's being botted. The bot's being
the bot getting botted.
Yeah. I mean, I'd say thumbs up. Part of
it's the game, isn't it? If you're a bot, then the risk is you'll get botted.
You'll get botted. I think it's quite funny from that perspective that the bot was basically programmed incorrectly. I think that's more what it is. The person who's controlling the bot has not done their homework properly or not done their job properly, and basically left a bit of a back door open there. But I really like the narrative idea of like this bot like going to Vegas. You know, like he gained all this money in I'm calling it a he already.
Yeah.
This bot gained all this money in 8 hours.
Yeah, because it won 800 ETH, didn't it? It botted 800 ETH of profit and then lost it all. As you were saying the other day, recently it was just like, it was like this bot going to Vegas and just...
That's what I see in my mind, like this bot in Vegas going all in, like throwing it down on the table. I kind of...
But also like, you make 800 ETH, and then you're like, let's go one more time, 50-50. Let's roll.
Double or quits, right? Double or quits.
Yeah. And another bot comes in the back door.
I mean, MEV and I mean, to explain MEV quickly is very difficult, so I don't think we should try here, to be honest. I think we'll probably do something about it on the blog, and you can read into that for people who don't understand what it is. If you're not trading, it's not really necessary to kind of know all these things, but yeah, it's basically just like arbitrage trading, people trying to sneak little bits of money out of transactions.
And it's to do with like block confirmations and transactions and like doing small stuff like on the blockchain in incremental pieces and then like building up a certain amount of money, isn't it?
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, basically the person didn't protect themselves properly, so the bot got botted. I'm thumbs up for that, 100%. I think it's funny.
Yeah. All right, thumbs up, Annika.
It's all thumbs up today.
Well, the next one might not be, so we're going to do one more. And it's the Fed chair, Jerome Powell, saying that US CBDC, so that's the new official United States stablecoin, would not be anonymous.
I think like important thing is
on 3, right? 1, 2.
Let's add nuance later.
3.
I knew it.
No.
I knew that.
Right. Rob, you tell us why you're down first.
Okay. Purely from a crypto perspective, like anonymity is part of the game, and you're free to use to identify yourself using Ethereum domain names or just putting your stuff out on Twitter, whatever.
Yeah, or name of avatar maybe.
However, like having, like right now with dollars, like if you have dollars in your pocket, like nobody can track what you do with it. You can buy an ice cream, or you can buy a bag of weed, like whatever. With the CBDC, if it's not anonymous, they can track every single thing you do, and that's going to be an issue. Like, then technically they can say, hey, listen, you didn't pay your energy bills last week, so now you can't go to the market to buy food. So probably you're allowed to buy food. No, you can't go to the bar. No, so at everything that's labeled as a bar or fun and entertainment, you can't spend your money. And that's scary as super scary. So
right, Ian, why are you up on this?
I think what Rob's saying is correct, and that side of it where they want to remove cash from the equation entirely, because as you say, you can't track it. So removing cash has been a big objective for a long time. But then I like what Rob's saying about it's similar to China's social credit score, for example. If you've got full transparency on people, on your population's financial activity, you can then punish them with, like in China, they don't let them leave their residence, i.e. they can't go on holiday, they can't use a bus until they've paid their bills and come back into a positive stance. Do I think that's good? No. I think that's horrible. I think that's disgusting. That's not the kind of world I'd like to be in. Do I think it's inevitable? Yes. Has it been on the cards for a long, long time? Yes.
It doesn't have
Are
to
we
be
ever going to get
it?
I think it's very naive to think that. Also, sorry, just to be more annoying, the privacy thing, like we're talking about privacy and we're talking about anonymity as well. And like privacy refers to the ability to have others unable to observe your actions, for example. That's privacy, right? But anonymity means you can observe people's actions, but you don't know who did it. And I think that's quite important. Like you don't know who's behind those transactions. So there's two different things about privacy and anonymity. And I think there's a bit of confusion there as well. But I just think it's very naive to think you're going to ever live in a world where your government isn't completely controlling what you're doing. Like, so this is inevitable. Do I support it? No, but it's happening. So get used to it, guys, basically.
So do you think there will be like two lines of economy? There will be like, US CBDC and crypto. And the CBDC thing will be required for many things, and maybe for your gas bills or for whatever. Mm-hmm. But there will also be elements in life where crypto replaces, let's say, cash.
But what if they outlaw crypto?
I don't think they'll ever outlaw. They can't outlaw crypto. Like
they can outlaw it. They can't necessarily stop it. There's a difference.
They can't stop. I guess
they outlaw drugs, but they haven't stopped them.
Yeah, I think you'll still always have a black market for crypto, but end goal see crypto becoming our currency. I don't see it becoming a separate financial system. You can't have two side-by-side financial systems. We haven't had that. We can't even control one. So controlling two simultaneously might be a little bit too much for humans.
I mean, this is a crypto. It's just I presume that they'll make their own blockchain with it, and then they'll be able to just control it with.
I guess so. It'd be a private. I don't know, really. I mean, what they're saying is that we need to be able to understand what people are doing. And I think that's the same as it is today. So nothing really is changing as such. But
and we have seen the argument. They can see everything that we do on the internet. I mean,
exactly.
We've known that for over a decade now.
It's just a point that, if you wanted to create what's the perfect technological solution to tracking human beings' every action, it's blockchain.
And money.
And if you didn't see that, and if nobody's understanding that or seeing it coming, then again, I use the word naive a bit, because I'd love to live in a decentralized world where everything's peer-to-peer, but come on, man. We're not advanced enough for that.
All right.
Can't even passwords.
We could talk about this for ages, but we do need to move on. But Annika, please give us a thumbs down for that.
Oh.
CBDC, thumbs down, because they not just left one thing fun and
give us a bit of cowboy action at least.
Yeah. All
right.
Still got
NFTs for now.
All right. We're going to move on to Rob and his gaming alpha. Rob, what can you tell us?
Yes, so I will kick off with some Blankos. As mentioned earlier, Blankos is dropping today, tonight, tomorrow, depending on where you are, and the first season will drop. So This competitive party game will introduce new characters, classes, perks. There will even be a new basic Blanko, so the traditional red one will disappear, and you will get a new one. And there's lots of new content for new people and early birds alike. The thing that I like best about this season 1 is that each Blanko character will have each season 1 Blanko character will have two new hidden perks. There's the bopper ability, so that allows you to jump on somebody's head, which I find very funny. And there's life of the party. So if you dance, if you use an emote, so waving or dancing or whatever, you will heal your teammates. And I find that hilarious. Anyway, so Blankos season 1 is out right now. You can go to blankos.com, download the launcher, and start playing. No need to buy anything. Just join the game and have fun. So that's about Blankos.
Nice. What are the characters in Blankos?
Oh, there are many characters in Blankos. So like the season 0, there are many characters you can buy already. The cheapest are like $5, and the most expensive ones on the secondary market probably hundreds or even thousands of dollars. There are also some new ones. There's a Godzilla, a Mecha Godzilla, and a Mothra. So
the Mecha Godzilla is well cool.
Yes, I love the Mega Godzilla one. So I will probably be opening my wallet for that.
Nice.
Second game I want to drop is Gods Unchained. As you guys have seen in Ian's updates, they've been doing very, very well. In the past 7 days, 4.7 million in NFT trading volume. So that's an awful lot, all happening on Immutable X. So no transaction fees there. You can check out the information on DappRadar.com/NFT and check it out yourself. Anyway, so Gods Unchained, you can now purchase cards for the Light Verdict set. You can find these cards in the normal Mortal Judgment packs, and these cards will only drop until October 12th. The cool thing is, now if you're into the card game and you manage to collect all the new cards, I think there are like 10 of them or 12. If you manage to collect them all before October 18th, then you will get a special board trinket. And again, like it's purely a cosmetic thing, but it allows you to customize your play board a little bit. So that's kind of nice. Gods Unchained is a real OG in the blockchain gaming ecosystem.
Always near the top of the rankings.
And it's now doing very well. So that it's nice to highlight that type of success.
Yeah, they also did a really nice job with their in-game sounds and things. I know it's really basic stuff, but it adds so much value to Gods Unchained. Like it feels cool. Like they nailed it. Web 2 game.
Even something simple as unpacking a pack of cards.
Yeah, I think it creates an environment, doesn't it? The whole thing. Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, third game, Voxie Tactics. If you're not familiar with this one, don't be alarmed. It's a little bit of a small game. Recently migrated from Ethereum to Polygon, and they're now preparing to launch season 0. So they've been in beta since February. It's a turn-based tactical battle game with using voxel graphics. If you're a bit into gaming, you can compare it a bit with Final Fantasy Tactics or Advance Wars. So you control a character. It has certain actions. You move your character, then the opponent moves their character. It's a bit like chess with gaming mechanics.
Okay.
But season 0 is coming up. And this week they will update the gaming client. They will launch information about the new renting system. They will.
Is this like a test? Is this like a test play almost, or is it?
No, this is season. Yeah, season 0 is like beta. You can compare it to beta.
So final test before the full launch, but it's proper, almost fully full.
No, they will this season 0 should go live on October 10th, and then in the months to come, so in the next 6 months. Now they will introduce more mechanics and launch more elements of the game. And ultimately, going into season 1, which will be their main, the real launch. But it's an interesting project. NFTs are available. As I said, there will be a renting system. So keep your eyes open for that one.
Nice.
Number 4 is MetalCore. MetalCore is an open world battle game. Compare it a bit with
industrial.
It is. It's a bit like Battlefield in the future. So open worlds, you play in different teams or factions, whatever you want to call them. There are vehicles. There are different soldiers with different types of gameplay mechanics. There's a huge PvP element to it. There's a player versus environment or PvE element. You can craft vehicles. You can upgrade them. You can customize them with skins and decals. And their alpha is starting pretty soon, so early October.
And you like can media there.
And to join the alpha, you need to have a Genesis Inventory NFT, and these cost 0.065 ETH right now. That's roughly $80.
Pretty good.
So it's pretty doable from an. I realize $80 is not cheap, but from an NFT point of view, it's if you want to get in early in MetalCore, then this could be a right moment, because they will have multiple alpha tests in the coming 6 months. So yeah, keep your eyes open for that one.
That was interesting. That one.
Yeah.
MetalCore is cool. And the last one, I'm personally a little bit not excited, but I'm very curious about this one. Yeah. It's called Oxya Origin. It's an MMORPG. It's built on, again, Immutable X, and it uses the Unreal 5 engine. If you're not that much into video games, like Unreal Engine 5 is like using an engine, a graphics engine, determines the visual look of a game, and Unreal Engine 5 is like cream of the crop. Like it's probably one of the most sophisticated game engines out there. So getting an MMO which will have competitive and social elements, takes place on different planets. There will be a land sale coming up. There's lots of stuff happening. That kind of excites me. So Oxya Origin, keep it in mind. But the cool thing is they will have a land sale. And this land sale is coming up on October 9th. So
put that in your diaries.
Put it in your calendar. Make sure you check it out, whether you like it, and try to jump in early. Of course, like jumping in early is a financial risk. It's like this is not an investment advice. Blah blah blah. But it's a cool. The game looks cool. I'm super curious about it. It will take a while before it's done. So 2024, they expect to have an alpha of the MMORPG. So it's still a long way out. So yeah, this could be an opportunity to get in early. And that's my alpha for this week.
Nice update. I think that fourth and fifth are the most kind of caught my attention there. I think I wrote about Oxya Origin a while ago, and it caught my attention then. But I haven't kept up to date with what's been happening. Interesting.
Thank you very much, Rob. Now, from decentralized games to a company that's trying to centralize everything, I want to talk to you both about what's happening, what Apple are doing, and their monopoly on distribution.
Ooh.
So basically, the story here is that Apple have announced it would charge up to 30% Apple tax on NFTs sold within iOS apps. As more and more developers consider offering mobile-friendly decentralized apps for their users, we kind of want to know how will this policy affect them, basically, because OpenSea charge 5%, or well, less than that, but then also there's the creator fee. Magic Eden, how much do they charge? What are you smiling at, Rob?
No, yeah, like I find this whole thing super. Like, imagine OpenSea launching their app, including buying opportunities on an iPhone. Then you pay and the OpenSea fee and the Apple fee.
Yeah, basically walking away with nothing.
Basically a third, yeah. So you'd be selling on. So I don't know how Apple. I guess what Apple have got is they've got a market, haven't they? They've got a captured market. They've got a lot of people on iOS, so they can get access to billions of customers worldwide with their amazing tools that everyone loves. But 30% for people who like us three who work in this industry, it seems very high for a decentralized sort of culture. So
just on the percentages, it's 30%. The rules changed recently, right? So it's 30% on those who on Apple. It's 30% for those who make over 1 million through App Store on an annual basis. If you make under 1 million, it's 15%. It's still high. Like I'm not saying.
I mean, like literally, like every single NFT collection that reaches 1 million, like the almost.
Yes. Well,
like
it's
pretty easy.
Very good point.
Then all you need is some NFTs to get sold back and forth between various people. It's not. You don't need.
Yeah. Well, that's if you're running a market.
10,000 NFTs for $100 each, $100 each, and you have 1 million. Like it's
Well, running a marketplace, for example, would just be a no-go, really, because of trading. So it wouldn't really work. But with Google,
it doesn't even make sense. Like if you're a seller, so let's say you sell a $100 NFT, then like royalties to the original creator, probably 5-10%. Then there is the OpenSea cut, another. What is it? 5%?
It's like 4% or 3%. I can't remember. We did an article.
Let's just say 5 for the sake of calculation.
Yeah.
So that's already 10% off. Then you're stuck with 90. Then there's the 30% Apple cut. It doesn't go from the 90. It goes from the 100. So you lose another 30. So you sell something for 100, you end up with 60.
It's not.
So OpenSea charges 2.5% commission on NFT sales. Plus, there's also often a, let's say, between 1 and 10% creator sell-on fee as well.
Yeah.
Then
you're
gonna like basically half your money's gone straight away.
Yeah. So like NFT scalping, like buying something to make a 10% profit, that's absolutely no go on iPhone. So it will only make sense purely from an like trading investor, like I want to make money point of view, is if you buy an NFT and then sell it for like 10 times the original price. Only then you will make profit.
But we saw a similar thing with Meta trying to start up charging people. Do you remember when Meta did that? Yeah. They were like, we're going to start charging this much, and people would just sort of said, no way, we think that's ridiculous. We're not going to come to you. So you wonder if how many apps or people selling NFTs would even go through iOS, really. They just find another route to go around it because they're just going to lose all their money.
So Facebook, Meta platforms will charge creators 47.5% on sales of digital assets and experiences.
But Ian,
47.5.
Ian, I remember you saying that you thought they'd put that high number, then pretended to climb down from it on purpose as a marketing ploy.
That's what you do, right? You give the big number first. Everyone goes, oh no, and then you bring it down and look like you've responded to your community. Like that's the obvious thing. But bottom line, let's just scrape away the fact that it's expensive and it's crap for NFT developers and play to earn developers to list on the App Store and the Google Play Store. It's 15% or 30%. So why they've been doing it for the last decade then? It's a monopoly, right?
Oh yeah.
And it's a complete monopoly, and nothing changed in the last decade that developers need access to eyeballs, right? So they can charge what they want. I mean, they've got the devices, they've got the funnel, they control the whole funnel. And in terms of business sense, good move, Apple. Very clever. Are we a bit angry because they're taking our money? Yes. But Apple was not profitable until they started doing things like this. So I just think, again, it's like the other argument. They charge high percentages, but they control all the eyeballs. So the real thing we want to talk about this is because they control all the eyeballs in the app world because they also run the devices. Now, in the decentralized blockchain world, this is not going to be the case. So how can DappRadar provide a value proposition here in our mission to be the world's Dapp Store is kind of where we're going. So we already know that, but they're still using it. I can't see app developers running away from Apple. Like at the end of the day, they're still going to use it because it's got all the customers. If someone else comes along like DappRadar and promises, 10 million eyeballs a day on a Dapp, then we can go head to head, right?
Someone will come and see it. People are coming on. These things, you always think that things are insurmountable, that, people thought that IBM could never be toppled in like the 60s or 70s, say, and now they're not the biggest company.
So are you saying Dapp phone in development?
Well, that funnel seems to be the way they did it, right? They control the device, then they control the output of the apps that go through it. Very clever. It's not something that we want to do and not something that we're thinking about doing, but it occurs to me that why do you need to list on the Apple App Store or Google Play Store when you can list on DappRadar and we become the hub of dapps? But it's whether Dapp developers chase Apple and Google as the holy grail of their listing. That occurs to me too, that is we're on Apple. Yeah. When I worked in mobile games, if you got into Apple, you were, and if you got into new and noteworthy, damn, you're flying. Like that was, you've made it. And these things are important, I think. So
yeah, but our job at DappRadar is to become that funnel that people go to as a first port of call. So it's like,
but of course,
I want to go onto Apple. I want to be on DappRadar. Then that's where I know where to find stuff.
But the issue with Apple right now, for example, is like trading functionalities in apps is a no-go.
No,
it is NFT trading. So like that's also why the OpenSea app, you can't purchase anything. You can only look around. As long as that limitation is there, also like something like DappRadar will have a difficulty to enable that. Like something like MetaMask mobile wallet, like that needs to get better, but it also needs to be approved by Apple. Like you still have that Apple bottleneck or Google bottleneck, and that remains an issue.
I've not got an iPhone. Can you get MetaMask on iPhone?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then there's also like this. It's interesting because they're not using like VV, right? VV is a good example. I think they can't use tokens in the app. The app is on your iPhone. It's on your Google phone, whatever. It works really well. It's like a normal app. But they use an internal currency called gems, which is a fictitious, right? It's just a fake in-game currency. So they've bypassed all of Apple's rules and regulations regarding tokens and crypto and NFTs by just creating a fake currency and using it in the app, and then you can cash out somewhere else. And that's what Sweat Wallet does and other things do. So I don't know if they're going to want to do that. They can do it. So they might just choose to do that rather than see app developers. Sorry, they may just see that again as the holy grail. What we want them to do is consider their options and be like, DappRadar, App Store. Like, how do we reach the people that are genuinely interested in our products? Yeah, like how do the developers reach the people interested? Arguably, DappRadar would be better positioned than the App Store. But yeah, long way. We're not there yet. Obviously, we're talking about future stuff here. But
yeah, but I think we're there at the moment for the hardcore gamers and people who really want to know about the industry and want to read the stats and figures and stuff. But the more that this stuff gets, mass adoption, as we always go on about, and more widespread, you'll see people coming to us and be like, right, what are the top 10 games at the moment? What should I get involved in? Where can I maybe make some money? What are the funnest things to play? As we get more and better games coming online in the next 5 years, then more traditional gamers will come over and be like, I want to play these games for the sake of them, not just for the
exactly. And we also have to give metrics that fit into that narrative. So like people want to read reviews with stars. How many people have played this game and what do they think about it? Like, and then, the metrics that we track are on-chain metrics. These are not customer reviews. So we are now in the process of thinking about how to adopt this kind of style as well and how to bring more granular information. So eventually, and with the bringing of those single DApp pages, it's becoming more realistic for us to go head to head, I think. So, but yeah, it's something that's kind of out on the table at the moment, right? A lot of people are talking about it. A lot of hate towards Apple and Google.
So that's not 30%.
It's not new.
So imagine, you're a creator. You make something in Meta. A person installs the Meta app on their iPhone, and you sell an NFT there. So then Meta takes 47, Apple takes 30. you end up with nothing.
The cost of sales is certainly very high.
Yeah, basically to sell something, you'd end up owing them money. So you have to give your NFT away and then give them $10.
But they must be doing it like in play to earn gaming now. Like, sorry, in free to play gaming, the revenues must be getting crunched pretty hard as well. That must be why they jam. Like mobile games are basically just adverts with things moving in the middle, as far as I see these days.
Some of them are, yeah. So, the free ones are.
Yeah, we're going to see like it's going to hurt the games because the developers are going to fill it full of clickbait to try and make revenue, right? And it's not going to help us at all. So
some game developers will, I think. There's always going to be crap game. You hear about these things where people there's like game making factories where they make the most basic things. They put them onto iOS Store, App Store, and plug them with adverts.
Yeah, without making this stall too long. I think the way of thinking of Apple is also a bit weird. Like traditionally, you have an in-app purchase. It goes one time from the developer to the consumer. You take 30% cut. That's it. But in crypto or in Web3, they sell an NFT from the product to the consumer. Then the consumer sells to another consumer, to another consumer, to another consumer. And they take 30% every time?
Is that the idea? They get 30% every time? Or can you sell it outside of Apple's ecosystem?
Oh, Jesus. That would be crazy though, right? But it does make sense.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. I honestly, I don't know.
So will it go into your wallet, Rob? Will go into your wallet and then it will go. Then you can sell it.
As soon as it's in your, let's say, in your MetaMask or Phantom wallet, or then of course Apple can't take a piece unless it's in the metadata that automatically sends
coded it in.
Oh, that's technically that would be possible for if they're to Apple to say, listen, everybody needs to share royalties with me.
All right.
I don't know.
I think I'm thumbs down on this.
I'm thumbs up on the idea that we can fill the gap of what's needed. But I'm definitely down on the 30%. But
because I think if you can offer people a cheaper route, then they'll take that. So right. On that hopeful note, we will leave it there for today. Remember, everyone, that you can read all of the things that we've discussed here over on the DappRadar blog. You can do what Ian does and go and check the rankings and go and look at the favorite dapps in the market at the moment, most popular things to play and use. We also have loads of AMAs, interviews on our YouTube channel, and also download the DappRadar mobile app now on iOS and Android. We're being slightly hypocritical there. I don't know, but
it's
a free. It's free, so they don't get it,
and we won't charge you.
Yeah, we don't charge for that.
All right. So I'll leave it there today, guys. Thank you very much, and we'll see you